Your thoughts?
What? What? Who?
Nice.
Welcome to Friday. Here we go, 9:01 on this 26th day of January. CJ Nasello, it's our daily show on RiverBender.com, and we got an interesting one for you today. I know that advertised on your desktop right now or on your stream, wherever you're watching it from. We were going to be talking to Megan Tyler in Sacred Spaces of Care today. We're going to reschedule that for next week. I'm going to get some insights on trivia night. She's a little under the weather today. And then we are not going to be talking to your event space today because, well, some exciting news. They're on grandparent duty and grandparent watch for a new little one. So we're going to reschedule that one too. But a really great conversation comes our way with Clay Marquis in about 30 minutes. We're going to be talking about God's Place, the Judy Hoffman book, and we're going to talk about his mom a little bit, Lars Hoffman, and really just their story a little bit more. And then Luis Noya will call in at 10:10, and we'll get the latest on the St. Louis sports scene, and I'll ramble into this darn thing for a few hours, and we'll have some fun on a Friday. But at 9:02, here's what's happening around the River Bend. Make sure you sign up for your daily email update, and you'll never miss out. You can join myself and, 70,000 people in the know each and every day of the work week and on Saturdays with Around the River Bend. Illinois American Water filed a rate request yesterday with the Illinois Commerce Commission reflecting $557 million in water and wastewater system investments to be made through 2025 to continue providing clean, safe, reliable, and affordable service. The request reinforces the company's commitment to investing in its water and wastewater systems to replace aging infrastructure, provide reliable service, enhance water quality, and comply with environmental regulations. Now, this rate request includes $421 million in water system infrastructure improvements and $136 million in wastewater system infrastructure improvements to be made over 2 years from January 2024 through December 2025. Investments in the rate request include the replacement of approximately 44 miles of aging water and wastewater pipelines and the upgrading of storage tank, wells, and pumping stations, hydrants, meters, wastewater plants, along with more across the state. Also, in this rate, included in this rate request is the ongoing replacement of lead water service lines across the state, as well as improvements to water treatment facilities in Cairo, Sterling, Peoria, Lenore, Hardin, Nettle Creek, and more communities to support continued safe drinking water treatments to residents and businesses. The company's latest general rate case was filed with the ICC in January of 2022, and a rate order was approved in December 2022. New rates became effective in January 2023. If the new rates are approved as filed with the ICC today, residential customers would see their monthly water service bills increase $24 a month, while the average residential wastewater bill would increase by $5 per month. Both rates would depend on the customer service area. Part of yesterday's filing with the ICC included a proposal to expand the income-based discount program to help make and protect additional customers who need bill assistance eligible for the program. Illinois American Water offers customer assistance through its H2O Help to Others program, payment plans, and budget billing. For questions about any of these concerns, you can call 888-282-6816, or you can go directly to the website, and that hyperlink is on the RiverBender.com article. Out of Edwardsville, Dalton Brown brings us the latest. A wide variety of charges, including damaging a gravestone, attempting to elude police, and deceptive practices have been filed in Madison County, according to recent court filings. DeMontez Spruill, 22, of Maryland Heights, was charged by the Alton Police Department with unlawfully causing damage to a gravestone on January the 14th. According to documents, the defendant willfully and knowingly defaced, vandalized, injured, or removed a gravestone or another memorial monument or marking commemorating a deceased person or group of persons. Specifically, the individual reportedly knocked over the gravestone of someone buried at Upper Alton Cemetery. He faces a Class 4 felony charge and was released upon a signature of conditions of pretrial release order. James M. Long, 34, of Collinsville, was charged with aggravating fleeing or attempting to elude a peace officer on June 10, 2023. Court documents indicate Long knowingly failed to obey and attempted to elude and flee Madison County Sheriff's deputies after the deputy had given him visible or audible signals to stop. Long was reportedly driving at least 21 miles per hour over the legal speed limit, and court documents state he had previously been convicted of aggravated fleeing or attempting to elude a peace officer on October 17th. The one Class 3 felony charge has been filed against Long, who was released upon his signature of conditions. Dedrick M. Miller of Irving, Texas, was charged with one count of deceptive practices from an incident that took place on March 15th, 2013. Here's the latest. Court documents indicate that Miller wrote out and delivered a bad check for $13,200, which he knew would not be paid by the depository, with the intent to defraud and, quote, obtain control over certain property or to pay for property, labor, or services of another. Miller faces one Class 4 felony filed by the Madison County Sheriff's Office. Court documents indicate he was released upon his condition of pretrial release order signature. The issuing of charges is based solely upon probable cause and never an indication of guilt. Please note that all subjects are innocent until proven guilty in a court of law. Also in the news out of Alton, an Alton man has been charged with forgery, meth possession, and resisting an officer, resulting in injury to that officer, according to Madison County court documents that were recently released. Joey L. Holloman, 34, of Alton, was charged by the Alton Police Department with unlawful possession of methamphetamine, forgery, resisting, or obstructing a peace officer on November the 18th. Court documents allege Holloman possessed less than 5 grams of methamphetamine, in addition to a fraudulent document purported to have been made by the United States Treasury, consisting of various denominations of fake U.S. currency. Holloman was additionally charged with resisting or obstructing a peace officer after allegedly pulling his arms away from the officer arresting him, which court documents state caused injury to that officer, specifically a laceration to the officer's hands. In total, Holloman faces 2 Class 3 felony charges for possession of methamphetamine and forgery, in addition to the Class 4 felony for resisting or obstructing a peace officer. Also in the news, out of Jerseyville, Dan Brandon broke us this yesterday. Jersey County did announce on Wednesday that the elevator at the county courthouse is closed for temporarily for repairs. Parts have been ordered, and we are awaiting their arrival, Jersey County Sheriff Nick Mann said in a quote. He continues, arrangements have been made for court hearings and anyone who needs accommodation. You can contact the Jersey County Circuit Clerk's office at 618-498-4471, extension 120 for assistance. A final quote from the sheriff, we apologize for any additional hardship or inconvenience. Sydney Sinks bringing us the latest out of the Riverbend CEO program. They're going to host a trivia night fundraiser on February the 17th. Proceeds will support the student businesses. Starting at 6 p.m. at the Best Western Premier in Alton, attendees can enjoy 8 rounds of general trivia, a cash bar, and many games. The fundraiser benefits the Riverbend CEO program, which helps 15 high school students develop a business plan, start their own businesses by the end of the school year. Other students hoping to start a photography business, a power washing business, and a candle making business. One student plans to buy and sell gym equipment, and another hopes to restore old cars. A student, Parker, wants to sell puzzles of Alton monuments, and Darrell, who snagged a gold sponsor for Trivia Night, has an idea to create a vending machine that can carry both drinks and snacks. The Riverbend CEO program helps the students develop their ideas, but it also encourages them to share their ideas and look for investors. The students noted that the program has taught them a lot about time management, how to engage with adults and other business owners, and how to follow through on their plans. For a lot of students, the businesses will either be their focus after graduation or create passive income while the kids are in college. And all of the students are hopeful that their businesses will succeed. The students decided to plan the trivia night so they can fund their ideas and get them off the ground. If all goes as planned, every kid will walk away with around $550 as a nest egg to start their business. You can purchase a table of 8 for $100 to support the students at Riverbend CEO. The students are also looking for sponsors at Trivia Night. All the money goes back to the students and the Riverbend CEO program. You can check out the Riverbend CEO Facebook page, or you can email riverbendceo@gmail.com to inquire about the event, buy tickets, or just support their efforts even further. Out of Godfrey, Lewis and Clark Community College had a full house for their Martin Luther King Jr. celebration on January 25th. The event themed equity and education, included music by Blancas led by Brenda Lancaster, and student recitations from James Morissette, Kamaya Newby, Brandon Hayes Jr., Maddie Bolon, and Al Womack Jr., the director of the Alton Boys and Girls Club, who was the keynote speaker. He gave a speech titled, "Are We There Yet?" and spoke about systemic racism in education. Womack said that the end of affirmative action would have infuriated King. He noted that there are severe discipline disparities, meaning that students of color and black students tend to receive harsher punishments than white students for the same offenses, which contributes to the school-to-prison pipeline. Womack, who was on the Alton Community Unit School District Number 11 Board of Education, said he sometimes challenges the discipline that black students receive. Schools with higher number of black students are usually allocated fewer resources, and students of color are disproportionately placed in lower-level classes and special education programs, Womack said. Some resources and textbooks minimize the impact of the BIPOC people and provide a Eurocentric view, he added, and standardized testing could be biased. He also talked about the number of educators that are black in the public school system. Now, according to Womack, black teachers make up 6% of educators in public schools compared to white teachers who make up 80%. Statistics show that black students are more likely to graduate high school and enroll in college if they have at least one black teacher in their early years. Womack said companies and schools should empower their diversity, equity, and inclusion coordinators and focus on the retention of black educators and administrators. A final quote from Womack during his address: "Addressing systemic racism in education requires a comprehensive effort. We have a lot of work to do." Sydney Sinks reporting out of Alton and Glen Carbon that Caritas Family Solutions will host their 11th Heart and Soul Gala to raise money for their services. From foster care and family interventions to residential treatment programs and emergency shelter. On February 3rd, attendees will enjoy the gala at the Regency in O'Fallon. While the registration deadline is passed, community members can still donate and support Caritas through a live auction on their website by donating online. All of the money raised by Caritas goes back to the services they provide for families throughout the Metro East and Southern Illinois communities. Caritas works with the Illinois Department of Children and Family Services to match in the foster care system children with homes and foster parents. They currently have approximately 1,400 children under their care. Caritas has several locations throughout Illinois, including Alton and Glen Carbon. The organization is always looking for more staff members and foster families. For more information about the Heart and Soul Gala or the services offered by Caritas, visit their official website, caritasfamilysolutions.org. 9:15, let's take a look at weather. 37 degrees, it feels like 38 today. Considerable clouds, and tonight, low cloud cover and fog. Temperatures will reach 44 degrees today. They will drop down to 35 overnight. As we head into Saturday, where we can expect a 25% chance of precipitation, a high of 41, a low of 33. Then on Sunday, the 28th, a high of 40, a low of 29, no rain in the forecast. On Monday, a high of 51, partly sunny skies, and the temperatures will drop down to 34 as we head into Tuesday. Right now, as it sits, it's 37 degrees. It feels like 38 for time and temperature throughout the day. You give this phone number a ring, 618-465-4545. This time powered by Tom Lane. He is your local State Farm agent. Before we take a quick break, you see the Riverbender wallpaper today. Best of the best of country love is on sale now. Tickets are only $25 to this. This is a great opportunity. A dozen artists will perform their favorite country love songs of all time as the special Valentine's Day treat, at Alton Little Theater, and their volunteers will be there also to whip up some libations that say, love y'all. And on top of that, the performers have the chance to compete for a $500 grand prize, and you all get to vote that are in attendance. This is Saturday, February the 10th at 7:30 p.m., and then on Sunday, February the 11th at 2 p.m. You can get tickets at altonlittletheater.org, or if you want to call the box office, you can, 618-462-3205. And high priority, tonight, tomorrow, and on Sunday is Elephant's Graveyard by George Brandt, where Lee Cox, found a way to get me on stage. I'm making my acting debut, and we'll see how it goes. You can see me on the big little stage at Alton Little Theater coming up tonight at 7:30 p.m. for Elephant's Graveyard. It's a quick 1.5, maybe 1 hour and 10-minute show that tells a really just compelling tale based on a true story and historical events about the hanging of an elephant in Irving, Tennessee. A really great play and a great performance, a great cast and crew. Get your tickets, 618-462-3205, and see me on the big little stage as we celebrate the 90th year of Alton Little Theater. Is it time to buy, sell, or even time to consider a short sale of your property? Meet Lisa Webb, owner of 3rd Street Realty. This local, women-owned, family-operated realty group has over a decade of experience in foreclosures, first-time home buying, and so much more. 3rd Street Realty prides themselves on holding your hand through the entire process. Let their expertise guide you to your dream home. Visit 3rdstrealty.com and start your journey with Lisa Webb today.
I just got a new air conditioner. Top of the line.
I bet mine's better. It's so efficient and quiet, I hardly know it's running.
I've got you both trumped. I've got a Linux.
So do I.
Barrett Heating and Cooling carries Linux products to meet any budget. Don't gamble with your energy dollars. Call Barrett Heating and Cooling and start saving today.
Lennox. Innovation never felt so good.
With over 20 years of experience, Wilson's Tree Service has the expertise to handle all of your tree care needs. Licensed and fully insured, their team of experts are dedicated to providing reliable service. Plus, with a 24-hour emergency service line, Wilson's will always be there for you. Don't risk tackling that timber by yourself. Trust the local professionals at Wilson's Tree Service. Visit treeservicealtonil.org to get started today.
Welcome to Evergreen Place, a community that embodies joyful living, independence, and financial freedom for seniors. If you're looking for a full day of activities or to relax in your apartment, we have you covered. Located on the Alton Memorial Campus. To know us is to love us. Experience the difference at Evergreen Place.
Life's better when you're under our roof. That's because our expert agents will make you feel totally protected with the right auto and home coverage at the right price. all so you can enjoy the dreams you've worked so hard to achieve. American Family Insurance.
Since 1993, Sparks Junk Removal is always adapting to the needs of our clients. That is why we now offer weekly trash pickup for selected areas. Plus, we offer driveway-safe rubber-tired dumpster rental. Give us a call today at 618-781-1407 or visit us at sparksjunkremoval.net.
Not sure if you've noticed, but those advertised prices from the other dealers are just a bunch of blah, blah, blah. At Roberts Motors, the advertised price is the price you pay. And that, my friend, is great news for you. Don't fall for their so-called incentives that will leave you banging your head against the wall. Go with Roberts Motors. Prices you can trust and people you will like. That's the Roberts Motors way. And trust me, it's the way to go.
When life throws unexpected challenges your way, you need a versatile legal ally to protect you. Sean Lentz, with over 12 years of experience, is here to help you in a variety of avenues. From personal injury to criminal defense and even semi-truck accidents, Sean Lentz has your back. Don't wait for the justice that you deserve. Call 618-465-8000 and see how Sean can help you today. Welcome back to our daily show. Here's CJ. Oh, welcome back, 922. There's a lot of stuff going on this weekend. Make sure you're always up to date on our community calendar by going to RiverBender.com/events, and you'll always be in the know on all the great stuff happening throughout all the towns that make up our Riverbend region. The big one tonight is the Actors Studio Series, Elephant's Graveyard. You just heard me talk about it at 7:30 p.m. at Alton Little Theater. Tickets are still available. Get them at the door or online or by calling the box office this morning. Alton High School Dance is going to have their alumni night tonight at 7 p.m. at Alton High School. Play and Learn for babies and toddlers. That takes place at the Niedering House building in Granite City, a part of the 6 Mile Regional Library District, and one of their staple events. Happy Trails Winter Jams takes place at 3 p.m., starting at Jacoby Arts Center. Kids Night Out, Wild Winter at the Nature Institute at 4 p.m., and then Hot for Yoga, celebrating 9 years plus a grand opening at a new location in Edwardsville. That takes place at 4:30, and then at your event space tonight at 5, it is their open house where you can kind of explore, especially if you're getting married or you're planning on it. Maybe you haven't popped the question yet, but you want to kind of be prepared. Go stop into your event space, meet some of their vendors, see their layout, see how efficient they are, and really get to know this great location we have here in the 618. Gateway to Anarchy at 7 p.m. at St. John Missionary Baptist Church Banquet Hall in Alton. That's going to be a great show. Anarchy is one of the best pro wrestling companies around. Bobby Rowland's Acoustic with Jimmy Rowlands takes place at 7 p.m. at Bendy's, and Hollywood 5 is having a Fast Eddie's weekend starting tonight at 7:30 p.m. Also, Lazy Lester will be on the Bakers and Hale heated patio tonight around 7 p.m. Coming up on Saturday, you can still go see the Actors Studio Series. That'll run until Sunday. 7:30 p.m. will be the time on Saturday, and that's at Alton Little Theater. The Winterfest Ham Fest will take place at Gateway Center in Collinsville for all the ham radio folks out there. Women's Self-Defense class takes place at 10 a.m. at Piasol Martial Arts in Alton. Raptor Saturdays at 10 a.m. at Autobahn Center at Riverlands over there in West Alton. This is really cool. At 10 a.m., a Winter Eagle viewing weekend. This is up in Brussels at Two Rivers National Wildlife Refuge. This is going to be a really great opportunity to see your nation's, symbol without being here in Alton and going into a new landscape. Alton Eagle watching shuttle tours are also available this weekend on Saturday at 11 a.m. at Great Rivers and Routes, the Alton Tourism Bureau. Happy Trails Winter Jam continues at 3 p.m. at Jacoby Arts Center on Saturday. At East Alton First United Methodist Church, they're offering soup to go, beef and noodles. They're selling it by the quart. That sounds like a great opportunity to get some lunch together for the next couple of days if you're somebody that has to always eat in the office. St. Ambrose Empty Nesters. This is a dinner and conversation about being an empty nester. It takes place at 6 p.m. on Saturday at Bluff City Grill. Restore Decor are having their Unmasked fundraiser and gala. That takes place at 6:30 p.m. on Saturday. Money Shot live at Third Shoot at 8 p.m. and then Infringement live at the Pump House at 9. Following that, Happy Trails Winter Jam, the after party featuring Colt Ball and Friends Super Jam, Spilly Nelson. That takes place at 10 p.m. at the Conservatory in Alton. Coming up on Sunday, the Actors Studio Series at 2 p.m. That's their matinee show. Also, you can go to the Godfrey Church of the Nazarene. They're welcoming you to their services at 10 a.m. Bald Eagle Festival takes place at 11 a.m. at Pierre Marquette Lodge in Grafton. Restorative Yoga at 11 at Riverbend Yoga. Plus, at Zion Lutheran Church in Bethalto, it's their 74th annual Sausage Supper. This is a big event for them. It starts at 12 noon, but they said to get there about 10:30 if you listened to the interview a couple of days ago. Nail trimming and ear cleaning. This is a really cool opportunity for folks, especially if you're always on the go, to stop up to Cohen's Country Market in Edwardsville, where they're going to be having a specialist there to trim your dog's nails and get the ears cleaned and just get them in tip-top shape, ready to go before the weather starts to go down a little bit again in a couple of weeks. Lanny and Julie live at the Grafton Winery at 1 p.m. Healing Waters over at Soul Sanctuary at 2:30 p.m. And then the finale on Sunday of Happy Trails Winter Jam at 3 p.m. at Jacoby's Art Center. Those are the events that are happening this weekend. You got something you want to talk about, any events, you go submit them by getting online on your free RiverBender.com account, posting it to our community calendar, and, well, we'll make sure that everyone in this region gets a chance to see it. 9:27, before I take this quick break, Hainer Library. They are really one of our biggest supporters, and I'm so glad that we partnered up. The reason is that Hainer's one of those doors. You've always heard me say that. I define Hainer as a door, not a library, a door to opportunity, a door to exploration, a door to adventure, a door to learning. And what they're able to do each and every day with their amazing programs, they have an amazing staff, but they keep adding to it. The library of things is wonderful. I mean, who wouldn't go back 20 years when you had to get that shoebox, science fair project together and go to Hainer and use some of their supplies and not have to pay the bill because you're only using it one time and bringing it back, All these opportunities, whether it's ad-free, for free streaming for television and or movies with Biblio Plus with your library card, the resource guides, all the genealogy and history that they have in their databases, all of that's available at HainerLibrary.org. That's HainerLibrary.org, and hang out with Mary Cordes and I on the first and last Monday of every month for Beyond the Shelves, where we explore Hainer Library. A quick break. We come back. Our daily show hits you right after this.
Since 1993, Sparks Junk Removal is always adapting to the needs of our clients. That is why we now offer weekly trash pickup for selected areas. Plus, we offer driveway-safe rubber-tired dumpster rental. Give us a call today at 618-781-1407 or visit us at sparksjunkremoval.net.
Macias Insurance Agency, providing quality products with extremely competitive prices. As an independent provider, we source multiple companies to offer the best rates possible, covering auto, home, business, and life insurance. Our goal is to provide quality service that meets and exceeds customer expectations. You can rest easy knowing the Macias team is working round the clock to ensure that both you and the most important parts of your life are covered. Our qualified professionals make the insurance process easy so you can live carefree and focus on what matters most. Visit MaciasInsuranceAgency.com today to find out what our team can do for you.
Not sure if you've noticed, but those advertised prices from the other dealers are just a bunch of blah, blah, blah. At Roberts Motors, the advertised price is the price you pay. And that, my friend, is great news for you. Don't fall for their so-called incentives that will leave you banging your head against the wall. Go with Roberts Motors. Prices you can trust and people you will like. That's the Roberts Motors way. And trust me, it's the way to go.
Has free checking become a thing of the past? Not if Liberty has anything to say about it. With 3 free personal checking options and even a free business checking account, free is alive and well at Liberty Bank, the local bank that gives you free checking choices and more cashing in your pocket. Bank locally, bank Liberty. For more information, visit www.bankliberty.com.
Riverbender Radio has built 3 great new stations just for you in the Riverbend. The Eagle, the Riverbend's classic rock station. The Bridge, hit music for the Riverbend. And The River, today's country, and all your favorites. Check them out today at RiverBender.com.
Welcome back to our daily show. Here's CJ.
We were running against the wind. We were young and strong. We were running against the wind.
Welcome back, 9:30 on the nose on this Friday morning, the 26th day of January. Clay in studio. How are we doing today, sir?
I'm doing great. How are you?
Oh, doing good. Thank you so much for your time today.
You bet.
I saw your post on the Alton Area Facebook page, Alton Area History, which is a great Facebook page.
Yeah,
if
it
you
is.
don't follow it, that's a great group to be a part of.
Yes.
And you were filling us in on your mother's book, God's Portion.
Yes.
Who, Judy Hoffman, who everyone in this community should know the Hoffman last name, and seeing the comments and posts about just people reflecting on your mom and how much of an impact the book had on them. That was really cool to see, and I only imagine for you it's 10 times what the feeling is for on this. And how did this book come together when your mom was doing this? You said 12 years of research?
Yeah. She had a love for the area, and Lars was the first mayor, and that kind of spurned her interest in the history of Godfrey, and so she started researching, and she and Lars had a bunch of fun putting this all together. So
I bet they did.
Yeah.
And take me through your relationship with Lars, who was your stepfather, correct?
Correct.
And how was the family life with your mom and Lars growing up? As I'm sure just like me, growing pains at 9 years old or 10 years old, getting
Sure.
your toys taken away. But was it a great life growing up?
Yeah, Lars and my mom met later in life. So I knew Lars when I was a teenager, but because she took his classes and stuff, and I had met him, but they didn't marry till later. So I was fully grown and out of the house when she and Lars met and then got married. And he was a wonderful man. I didn't. He was so good, I didn't trust him at first. I didn't. I thought this is too good to be true. He's too good.
Yeah.
And so I thought there's something wrong, and there never was. He was a wonderful role model for my kids and me, and offered great advice and guidance. He was an amazing man.
And when your mom decided it's time to, let's write this book, what was the initial thought process? Was it just we have to make sure this information is recorded somewhere so the folks do know, or what was the initial thought to do it?
Well, she loved history.
Yeah.
And she's obviously a great writer. So it took her a while to put it all together, 12 years, as you said. And the process, I don't think she realized how much she was going to find out.
Yeah.
She came up with some revelations about Benjamin Godfrey and the Underground Railroad that were not before. I'm sure people had sought that information, but she found it.
Well, and sir, on top of that, can we talk a little bit more about those revelations as well?
Sure.
Because we were just mentioning before we came on the Underground Railroad and how it was funded, correct?
Yes.
And can you take me through that a little bit more?
Yeah, so there was a Illinois Mutual Fire Insurance Company.
Okay.
And it spanned up the river in many locations, and Elijah Lovejoy, who we all know here in Alton,
right.
His family was involved in that insurance company, and she didn't state this in her book, but what she felt was it was one of the very first money laundering operations going, because with the money from that insurance company, they funded the Underground Railroad.
Really?
And it went all the way north to Chicago and then beyond, of course, to Canada, where their ultimate,
Absolutely.
What they were looking to get to.
And to me, I think that's such a fascinating discovery, especially because I'm sure there's been people for decades trying to figure out and put all this information together.
Sure.
Did it amaze her how she was able to kind of stumble upon some of these really just important notions and important pieces of history, especially locally?
Yeah, the connection came when she began to look into Elijah Lovejoy.
Yeah.
And, of course, the Underground Railroad was historical. So as she looked into that, she realized that this insurance company had been founded and started by his relatives.
Uh-huh.
And every stop where there was an insurance office going north. She just figured it out, and the trail that it followed.
And did you have some conversations with your mom as she's putting all this together in those 12 years? And
of course.
I mean, I could only imagine it's like every time you keep talking about the book or more progress being made, you're like, hit me with it now. What'd you find? You know?
Well, she was a little bit secretive with that information until the very end. She knows I blab. So she didn't want me telling people.
Mother knows best, you know?
That's right. So she didn't want me telling people before the book came out, that all this cool information that was going to be in it.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. And I just think it's amazing, though, that, you really have such a detailed book and a piece about a smaller region here and locally, because you don't see very many of those stories being told. And I think they're the most important of the American story.
Indeed.
And when we're talking Benjamin Godfrey, and I don't know if it's in the book or not, can you take me through some of the revelations and what the initial perception was?
Yeah, he had a very colorful early life. And so he was a seaboat captain.
Okay.
Started on the sea at the age of 9. Wasn't a wealthy man to begin with, but he made and lost many fortunes in those early years. And most of it, he was a pirate. He was given a license. This isn't in the book either because it came before.
Right.
He was given a license to pirate British vessels by Andrew Jackson. And so he legally could, any British vessels in the American waters, he could pirate them and take their booty, as you will. So,
that's incredible.
Yeah. So, and then he had a revelation later in life, and he came here to give back God's portion for the sin that he had created.
Really?
Yeah.
And when we're going through this book, and especially for younger generations like myself that need to, I think it's very important to read this, what are they going to notice right off the bat? How is the story told? Is it more of is it chronological? Is it by the year? Or is it more of a narrative?
It's more of a narrative.
Okay.
She tells a story from start to finish, and each chapter takes you through somewhat chronologically.
Yeah.
But there's a couple things she leaves to later in the book chronologically to expound upon that idea.
That's really unique.
It was great.
Do you have a moment to stick around? I got to pay a quick bill.
Sure.
9:37 is the time. My lights are going to turn off if I don't hit this break. We'll take a quick pause, and we'll come back with more of this conversation about God's portion right after this.
I set the thermostat so my house would be warm when I got home from work, but the kitchen is still cool.
At Barrett Heating and Cooling, we stand behind every Linux system we sell.
My dealer said he'd take care of everything.
At Barrett Heating and Cooling, we understand everyone wants prompt, professional service.
Turns out it wasn't my furnace after all, just a little something blocking the vent.
Pretty smart dog if you ask me. For service you can count on, call Barrett Heating and Cooling.
Lennox, innovation never felt so good.
You won't find a better health club than Nautilus Fitness Center. More cardio, more free weights and equipment, more classes, a swimming pool, and more. If you're serious about your health and want to make a change, then stop thinking about it and visit Nautilus Fitness Center on Industrial Drive in Alton. Don't fall for the hype you get from the other health clubs. Nautilus is the Riverbend's premier health club. Has been for years and will be for years to come. Get to Nautilus Fitness Center and get started on a healthier new you.
Life's better when you're under our roof. That's because our expert agents will make you feel totally protected with the right auto and home coverage at the right price. Also, you can enjoy the dreams you've worked so hard to achieve. American Family Insurance.
For the biggest selection of pre-owned cars, trucks, and SUVs in the Riverbend, visit altontoyota.com or stop by their location on the Homer Adams Parkway in Alton. Winner of the prestigious President's Award, Mungan Burkhardt Alton Toyota knows how to treat their customers, and they will help you find the vehicle that is perfect for you. For years, Mungan Toyota has been a fixture in the Riverbend, and now Mungan Burkhardt carries the tradition. New name, but the same great service you've come to expect.
You're listening to Our Daily Show with CJ Nasello on RiverBender.com.
Welcome back, 9:40 on this Friday morning. Did the fog ever go away out there? I haven't been out of the building since 6.
A little bit. It's still pretty foggy.
It's like Seattle, you know?
Yeah.
I don't think, and we could have used the rain in summer. I think that we're getting our seasons mixed up here.
It's weird.
I wonder if there's a complaint department to the weather, you know? Getting back to God's portion. You know, I just, the brief time we've been talking, Clay, I think the story of Benjamin Godfrey is just it's kind of a really incredible story in the terms of, you know, coming and righting wrongs. And one of the best, I think, retribution stories out there, because from all accounts, just talking with you, a night and day personality change from, you know, the earlier portions of his life to when he got to God's portion.
Yes. Yeah.
What was the reason for the name of Godfrey?
Was
it just for him?
His last name.
Okay.
Initially, Godfrey was known as Monticello.
That's what I was wondering.
Yeah. And it later became Godfrey, named after him. But he named it Monticello and had platted out the village and everything.
That's what I was wondering, because I always wondered why that was initially Monticello and switched. It was just to honor Godfrey.
Yes.
Really interesting.
Yeah.
And, you know, when you finally read the book, it comes out, did you ever have to just stop and go, wow, my mom wrote this? And not because not a degrading way, but because we know our moms in such a different way, you know, as a caregiver, as a worker, you know, in some facet. But to see an accomplished book being produced, I mean, that's got to be a really unique feeling in itself.
It was. It was. The first time I read it, which, of course, many years ago, when it first came out, I read it immediately. And I've read it many times since. Right. And every time I go through it, I just am fulfilled with gratefulness for her and the knowledge about the history of Godfrey and a little bit of Alton that she gave our community.
Well, and I don't want to, you know, dive too much into it, because I still want the younger people to go and get this book when they can, and it's everywhere you want to find it. I know that there's copies floating around, and you can get it online still. What one story really hit you the most in this? One nugget of history about this community? Was there just one that kind of stuck with you for a little bit?
Well, I think the main one, and the one I think she wanted to make known the most, was Godfrey's drive and how many things he did for this area, what he brought to the area. You know, he brought the train here, the initial Illinois or Alton to Springfield train. And, of course, Monticello College, which is now Lewis and Clark. That was a big joke back in the day. You know, who's going to send their... Well, first of all, they didn't educate their daughters back then.
Oh, yeah.
And so the big joke was, who's going to send their daughters to the edge of the wilderness to be educated? And he made it work like... And it's because of some of it is because of the people he surrounded himself with. It was great.
Well, and as it seems like Godfrey, just from all accounts, was really pretty progressive and innovative whenever you come into a town and you have to literally just establish something and really establish the foundation and the building blocks of it.
Yeah.
How many, and I don't know if it's documented in this, was there a lot of collaboration from outside entities for the plan Godfrey had, or was it all his real vision?
Well, no, he was surrounded by other great men. He was very good friends with Abraham Lincoln.
Was he really?
And Lincoln, the initial plan was to bring the state capital to Alton.
Right.
And that is what Lincoln promoted. And that's what Godfrey wanted, because then he saw what he really wanted was to take away the transport hub from St. Louis and bring it to Alton because of the riverfront. And he was well on his way to doing that until the death of Elijah Lovejoy.
Wow. So the death
People abandoned this area after the death of Lovejoy.
It was that much of an impactful moment.
It was. People were coming here from the east and some people from the south. The people from the east quit coming because Alton became known as a rowdy Western town, murderous, and the subsequent trial of the Lovejoy killers, nobody was ever convicted of that crime.
Right.
And it was a farce.
Yeah.
It was really a farce.
It was terrible.
Because they were bragging all over town about how they killed him.
That's just awful.
Yeah.
And it's interesting to see how, especially that news can impact the complete dismantling of growth in a community. Because,
Indeed.
That's the reason we have the circle up there on Central. That was State House Square where
That's
that was
right.
supposed to be.
That's right.
Did you have a chance to talk to your mom after the book was published and she got feedback on it? Did she ever talk about just the amount of praise that she got? Because a lot of people love this book, and I'm sure that it was reflected to her a couple of times. What was her thought on that it was so widely received by the community? Yeah,
she was very humble, and so never did I ever hear her brag or anything like that. The initial response, there were a lot of books sold.
Yeah.
But it didn't hit the bestseller
Right.
list and or anything like that. But she was very grateful for the response she'd gotten, and she went on a speaking tour in the area. Had many times where she spoke about the book and the history of Godfrey, and she was great at it.
That's really, really cool. And Clay, I could talk to you all day long. I really can. But I got to ask you this before I let you go.
Yep.
I was talking to an individual. We were talking about the Illinois version of Donnybrook, which was, what was the name of that show?
Metro Talk.
Metro Talk.
Yes.
And was that something that Lars was doing, correct?
Indeed.
Did you have one story of Lars and your mom, and just in a way that maybe the public never got to see it, just the family side of it that always stick to you?
Well, it was a great love story.
Was it really?
It was. The way those two talked to one another, the way they looked at one another, it was a love story for the ages. And Lars was so mild-mannered, yet so intelligent. It was great to see them together. And the way they received the grandchildren, Lars was always full of love for for his grandkids. And he'd always say, when they'd come to his house, "Get in here." Yeah, get in here. And then he'd wrap his arms around him, and he was just full of love and joy. Yeah.
Well,
neat guy.
Clay, thank you so much for stopping by. I really enjoyed it. Anytime you want to come back on and talk a little bit more, you're more than welcome to. This is very enjoyable.
Absolutely.
9:48's the time on this Friday morning. We're going to take a quick pause. We'll come back and I'll ramble for a little bit more. Then we got Luis Noya calling us. We're going to see if the Cardinals dumpster fire from last year will continue into 2024. He was in the clubhouse and got the morale report for us, is what I've been calling it. How are we feeling? We'll find out next.
I set the thermostat so my house would be warm when I got home from work, but the kitchen is still cool.
At Barrett Heating and Cooling, we stand behind every Lennox system we sell.
My dealer said he'd take care of everything.
At Barrett Heating and Cooling, we understand everyone wants prompt, professional service.
Turns out it wasn't my furnace after all, just a little something blocking the vent.
Pretty smart dog if you ask me. For service you can count on, call Barrett Heating and Cooling.
Lennox, innovation never felt so good.
You won't find a better health club than Nautilus Fitness Center. More cardio, more free weights and equipment, more classes, a swimming pool, and more. If you're serious about your health and want to make a change, then stop thinking about it and visit Nautilus Fitness Center on Industrial Drive in Alton. Don't fall for the hype you get from the other health clubs. Nautilus is the Riverbend's premier health club. Has been for years and will be for years to come. Get to Nautilus Fitness Center and get started on a healthier new you.
Life's better when you're under our roof. That's because our our expert agents will make you feel totally protected with the right auto and home coverage at the right price. Also, you can enjoy the dreams you worked so hard to achieve. American Family Insurance.
For the biggest selection of pre-owned cars, trucks, and SUVs in the Riverbend, visit AltonToyota.com or stop by their location on the Homer Adams Parkway in Alton. Winner of the prestigious President's Award, Mungan Burkhardt Alton Toyota knows how to treat their customers, and they will help you find the vehicle that is perfect for you. For years, Mungan Toyota has been a fixture in the Riverbend, and now Mungan Burkhardt carries the tradition. New name, but the same great service you've come to expect.
You're listening to Our Daily Show with CJ Nasello on RiverBender.com.
Welcome back, 9:51. Feeling pretty good. Good Friday morning show. I'm really nervous about tonight with Alton Little Theater. Hey, you know who I never have to worry about is Denise Sparks and Sparks Junk Removal and Hauling. The reason is Denise Sparks has 30 years of great experience. You know, we always talk about experience. What does experience mean? Listen, you could have 30 years of experience doing nothing. You could have 30 years of experience doing something, being bad at your job. But when you have 30 years of experience of providing number one customer service and satisfaction and always being there when the phone rings, you're doing something right. When you keep growing and growing decade after decade as a small business, it's pretty impressive. Now with this new update to Sparks Junk Removal and Hauling and now trash service, a weekly trash service option just for you. She heard the calls, everyone was complaining, and well, she decided it's time. It's time to be the alternative. And you see those purple and yellow trash cans, folks, are popping up all over the place. Every time I drive into DeAdrian, into Godfrey, pretty much anywhere, you see them. And it's because the team at Sparks Junk Removal and Hauling is going to take care of you. They're going to treat you right. And most importantly, they're going to be transparent with you. You know, what happened to the days of decades ago when a business owner called you and said, hey, here's what's going on. Here's what you need to know. They didn't just say, oh, well, we'll call you in a few days. Or here's a reference number and wait for our email. No, that old school business that people are missing, well, it's waiting for you at Sparks Junk Removal and Hauling. SparksJunkRemoval.net. That is SparksJunkRemoval.net. Hey, there was one report that I didn't get to today from Dalton Brown that I did want to get out. Individuals from around the region are facing charges in Madison County for unlawful possession of drugs, including fentanyl. According to felony filings released last week, Andrew P. McCoy, 29 of Dow, was charged with possession of a controlled substance on November the 16th in a case presented by the Madison County Sheriff's Office. Court documents allege McCoy possessed an undisclosed amount of substance containing fentanyl. He faces a Class 4 felony, and court documents do indicate that he was released upon his signature of conditions of pretrial release order. Gregory Beal, the second, 42 of Staunton, was charged with one count of possession of a controlled substance on November 15th. In the case presented by Madison County Sheriff's Office, court documents allege that Beal possessed an undisclosed amount of a substance containing fentanyl. He was charged with a Class 4 felony and was released upon his signature. Chad E. Gill, listed as homeless, 43 years of age, was charged with possession of an undisclosed amount of substance containing fentanyl on November the 10th in a case that was presented to the Alton Police Department. He faces a Class 4 felony charge, and court documents do indicate that he was released upon his signature of conditions. Sean Buchanan, 40 of East St. Louis, was charged with possession of cannabis with intent to deliver on November the 5th in a case presented to the Collinsville Police Department. Court documents state that Buchanan possessed more than 30 but less than 500 grams of a substance containing cannabis other than as authorized in the Cannabis Regulation and Tax Act. He faces a Class 3 felony and was released upon his signature of conditions of pretrial release order. That was that news brief that wanted to make sure I got over to you. Hey, I just got to talk to you for a second. I don't know, and I've been thinking about this for 2 days. I don't know if you saw our the story about Popeyes, but our comments are just getting to the point where it's like must read. I grab a little box of popcorn and I just, sit there and watch. But what I thought was really fascinating about all of this is that, it took a fire to kind of start the investigation process when for over a year, we've gotten your messages that you've reported and done all the things that you can do. And it's what I thought was even more amazing was all the comments that said, told you. Yeah, didn't you report them like a year ago? Just fascinating stuff. And that's why I really kind of, like our comments because some of them are pretty funny. And I don't like them because that's not my place, but I do watch them. I do read them, and they're actually sometimes more entertaining than the show. But, it was just fascinating, and that's why I do like reading your comments of all the people that said, hey, I called months ago. I reported this such and such ago. We all saw the social media video last year that was just very lovely and just so hygienic. It was just scary. And good night. But it's really fascinating to get your insights. So whenever you see a post like that, I encourage you to comment and tell us your story. Give us your feedback. That's what's cool about doing this in a regional approach. That's something that they never figured out over in St. Louis. They try to do a broad thing where you encapsulate all of St. Louis into a broadcast day, into a publication. It's just impossible. But having this regional approach to where we can go up and down the Riverbender belt, or the Riverbend Belt up to Edwardsville and Collinsville and, into Macoupin County and Staunton. It really provides you that unique touch. So if you ever see something like that, weigh in because we really do love hearing from you and we always value your feedback. But before we take a break for top of the hour news, I do got to share you this. So all of you know that I have a dog named Nico, okay? And Nico is a very jealous puppy. John brought in Willow yesterday, and I'm a big dog person, and Willow is just a great dog. So I'm sitting there petting Willow and, getting my hand gnawed on and playing. Well, then I get home to Nico, okay? This dog smelt my hand and walked to the bedroom and slept on that bed and did not look at me. He was very disappointed in the decisions I made, so I'm looking for your suggestions. How do I make up my, infidelity to my dog, I guess? I don't know. I just don't know what to do to get him to like me again. He's really mad I didn't give him attention. 9:57, we'll take a quick break. Top of the hour news hits you next. Is it time to buy, sell, or even time to consider a short sale of your property? Meet Lisa Webb, owner of 3rd Street Realty. This local, women-owned, family-operated realty group has over a decade of experience in foreclosures, first-time home buying, and so much more. 3rd Street Realty prides themselves on holding your hand through the entire process. Let their expertise guide you to your dream home. Visit 3rdstrealty.com and start your journey with Lisa Webb today.
I just got a new air conditioner. Top of the line.
I bet mine's better. It's so efficient and quiet, I hardly know it's running.
I've got you both trumped. I've got a Linux.
So do I.
Barrett Heating and Cooling carries Linux products to meet any budget. Don't gamble with your energy dollars. Call Barrett Heating and Cooling and start saving today.
Lennox. Innovation never felt so good.
With over 20 years of experience, Wilson's Tree Service has the expertise to handle all of your tree care needs. Licensed and fully insured, their team of experts are dedicated to providing reliable service. Plus, with a 24-hour emergency service line, Wilson's will always be there for you. Don't risk tackling that timber by yourself. Trust the local professionals at Wilson's Tree Service. Visit treeservicealtonil.org to get started today.
Welcome to Evergreen Place, a community that embodies joyful living, independence, and financial freedom for seniors. If you're looking for a full day of activities or to relax in your apartment, we have you covered. Located on the Alton Memorial Campus. To know us is to love us. Experience the difference at Evergreen Place.
Life's better when you're under our roof. That's because our expert agents will make you feel totally protected with the right auto and home coverage at the right price. Also, you can enjoy the dreams you've worked so hard to achieve. American Family Insurance.
Since 1993, Sparks Junk Removal is always adapting to the needs of our clients. That is why we now offer weekly trash pickup for selected areas. Plus, we offer driveway-safe rubber-tired dumpster rental. Give us a call today at 618-781-1407 or visit us at sparksjunkremoval.net.
Not sure if you've noticed, but those advertised prices from the other dealers are just a bunch of blah, blah, blah. At Roberts Motors, the advertised price is the price you pay. And that, my friend, is great news for you. Don't fall for their so-called incentives that will leave you banging your head against the wall. Go with Roberts Motors. Prices you can trust and people you will like. That's the Roberts Motors way. And trust me, it's the way to go.
When life throws unexpected challenges your way, you need a versatile legal ally to protect you. Sean Lentz, with over 12 years of experience, is here to help you in a variety of avenues. From personal injury to criminal defense and even semi-truck accidents, Sean Lentz has your back. Don't wait for the justice that you deserve. Call 618-465-8000 and see how Sean can help you today.
Welcome back to our daily show. Here's CJ.
Welcome back. Top of the hour news on this Friday morning. We'll take you to Edwardsville first. Edwardsville Township will be moving back to its permanent office located at 300 West Park Street starting today, with a soft opening back at 300 West Park scheduled for Monday, January the 29th. Back in the building today with a soft opening on Monday the 29th. If you need immediate assistance in the next few days from the township or the assessor, you can call 618-656-0292 before coming into the office. A quote from Kevin Hall, the supervisor: "We are excited to move back into our renovated offices. We thank Millennium Construction and Henderson Associates for their hard work on the township building." Edwardsville Township is comprised of the city of Edwardsville, the village of Glen Carbon, and incorporated areas just outside of those two municipalities. The township supervisor's office is located at 300 West Park Street in Edwardsville and will be open 8:30 a.m. until 4:30 p.m. Monday through Friday, and you can call 618-656-0292 to get in touch with them today. Out of Edwardsville, Dalton Brown bringing us the latest of more charges stemming from recent Madison County court documents. These are the most recent since December. Benjamin D. Gross, 25, of Alton, was charged with reckless discharge of a firearm and unlawful possession of a weapon by a felon by the Madison County Sheriff's Office. On December 11th, according to court documents, Gross was illegally carrying a black 9mm semi-automatic handgun after previously been convicted of burglary. Court documents state that Gross, quote, discharged a firearm in reckless manner in a residential area, which endangered the bodily safety of an individual. He was charged with a Class 4 felony for reckless discharge of a weapon and a Class 3 felony for unlawful possession of a weapon by a felon. He was released upon his signature of conditions of the pretrial release order. Ronald Adams, 40, of East St. Louis, was charged with burglary and obstructing identification by the Bethalto Police Department on December the 8th. According to court documents, Adams, quote, entered an office area of Ace Hardware not open to the public at 1 Airway Court in Bethalto with the intent to commit therein a theft. Adams was additionally charged with obstructing identification after giving officers a false name of Colby Adams. In total, he faces a Class 2 felony for burglary and a Class A misdemeanor for obstructing identification. Court documents indicate he was released upon his signature of conditions of pretrial release order. Andre M. Watson, 39, of St. Louis, was charged with unlawful possession of weapon by a felon and driving on a suspended license by the Wood River Police Department. On December 23rd, Watson allegedly possessing a Century Arms Canic TP9 handgun after previously being convicted of first-degree robbery. According to court documents, Watson faces a Class 3 felony for unlawful possession and a Class A misdemeanor for driving on a suspended license. Court documents do indicate he was released upon his signature. Bradley W. Crane, 46 of Brighton, was charged by the Alton Police Department with burglary without causing damage after allegedly entering a motor vehicle with the intent to commit a theft without causing damage to the vehicle. Crane faces a Class 3 felony and was released upon his signature. The issuance of charges is based solely upon probable cause, never indication of guilt. All subjects are innocent until proven guilty in a court of law. Out of Jerseyville, just a brief news update for you. Jersey County did announce that the elevator in the courthouse is temporarily closed for repairs. A quote from the sheriff: "Parts have been ordered and we are waiting for their arrival. Arrangements have been made for court hearings and anyone who needs accommodations." You can contact the Jersey County Clerk's office at 618-498-5571, extension 120 for assistance. The sheriff with the final quote: "We apologize for any additional hardship or inconvenience." Also, out of Alton, the Riverbend CEO program will host a Trivia Night fundraiser on February the 17th, and proceeds will help support the students' own businesses. Starting at 6 p.m. at the Best Western Premiere in Alton, attendees can enjoy 8 rounds of general trivia, a cash bar, and mini games. The fundraiser benefits Riverbend CEO, which helps 15 high school students from around the area develop a business plan and start their own businesses by the end of the school year. Other students in the class, along with a yoga business, are looking to start a photography business, a power washing business, candle making business. One student plans to buy and sell gym equipment. Another hopes to restore old cars. A student named Parker wants to sell puzzles of Alton monuments, and Darrell, who snagged a gold sponsor for Trivia Night, has an idea to create a vending machine that can carry both drinks and snacks. The Riverbend CEO program does help the students develop their ideas, but it also encourages them to share their ideas and look for investors. The students noted that the program has taught them a lot about time management and how to engage with adults and business owners and how to follow through on their plans. For a lot of the students, the businesses will either be their focus after graduation or it'll create passive income for them while they're in college. All of the students are hopeful that their businesses will succeed. The students decided to plan this trivia night so they can fund their ideas and get them off the ground. If all goes to plan, each student will walk away with $550 as a nest egg to start their business. You can purchase a table of 8 for $100 to support the students of Riverbend CEO. The students are also looking for sponsors for the trivia night, and all of the money goes back to the students and the Riverbend CEO program. You can find them on Facebook, the Riverbend CEO program's Facebook page, for all the details and how to buy tickets and inquire about more information, or you can email Riverbend CEO, that's Riverbend CEO at gmail.com, Riverbend CEO at gmail.com. Also, let's take a look at weather. 37 degrees still, and it still feels like 38. Today, a morning shower could be in spots. Otherwise, it will just be cloudy. Tonight, low clouds and fog. Temperatures reaching 45 degrees today, dropping down to 36 overnight as we head into Saturday. 41 for the high on Saturday, 33 for the low on Sunday, a high of 40, a low of 29, and then on Monday, a high of 51, a low of 34, partly sunny skies. At least we'll get to see some sunlight on Monday. On Tuesday, a 20% chance of rain, 44 degrees will be the high temperature, and 31 overnight as we head into Wednesday. For the Alton skyline and that beautiful webcam, it's available at RiverBender.com/weather. And for time and temperature throughout the day, you give this phone number a ring, 618-465-4545. This time powered by bounce back, rehab, recover, and return home. We'll take a quick pause. We'll come back with Luis Noya right after this.
Since 1993, Sparks Junk Removal is always adapting to the needs of our clients. That is why we now offer weekly trash pickup for selected areas. Plus, we offer driveway-safe rubber-tired dumpster rental. Give us a call today at 618-781-1407 or visit us at sparksjunkremoval.net.
Macias Insurance Agency, providing quality products with extremely competitive prices. As an independent provider, we source multiple companies to offer the best rates possible. Covering auto, home, business, and life insurance, our goal is to provide quality service that meets and exceeds customer expectations. You can rest easy knowing the Macias team is working round the clock to ensure that both you and the most important parts of your life are covered. Our qualified professionals make the insurance process easy so you can live carefree and focus on what matters most. Visit MaciasInsuranceAgency.com today to find out what our team can do for you.
Not sure if you've noticed, but those advertised prices from the other dealers are just a bunch of blah, blah, blah. At Roberts Motors, the advertised price is the price you pay. And that, my friend, is great news for you. Don't fall for their so-called incentives that will leave you banging your head against the wall. Go with Roberts Motors. Prices you can trust and people you will like. That's the Roberts Motors way. And trust me, it's the way to go.
Has free checking become a thing of the past? Not if Liberty has anything to say about it. With 3 free personal checking options and even a free business checking account, free is alive and well at Liberty Bank. The local bank that gives you free checking choices and more cashing in your pocket. Bank locally, bank Liberty. For more information, visit www.bankliberty.com.
Riverbender Radio has built 3 great new stations just for you in the Riverbend. The Eagle, the Riverbend's classic rock station. The Bridge, hit music for the Riverbend. And The River, today's country, and all your favorites. Check them out today at RiverBender.com.
Welcome back to our daily show. Here's CJ.
Welcome back. 10-12, still waiting on Luis. Let's give him a hard time whenever he calls in. Hey, I did see this and wanted to get your thoughts on it. You know, we had a little bit of snow, like tiny bit of snow, nothing to write home on. And whenever I was sitting there thinking, you know, when the snow fell, it was like, you know, the day the earth stood still. Everyone's kind of like fearful to drive. It's always a fun thing. Well, you know, I always think about the places in, you know, Minnesota that get like feet of snow. And I always wonder, you know, what their thoughts are when they see like this lower portion of the Midwest going nuts that there's an inch or two of snow on the ground. Well, let me fill you in. How about that? So up in Minnesota, snowplows obviously are essential during winter just to even endure it. So maybe it's not that surprising that every year, listen to this, thousands of people vote on names for the giant machines that clear state roads, such as Plowy McPlowface and Darth Bladder. The often icy state names began naming its 800 plows in 2020, and it's expected to announce winners of its 2023-24 run. The Name a Snowplow contest, adding 8 selections to more than 3 dozen names that already grace trunks scraping snow off of Minnesota highways. This is actually kind of fun. So the agency knew officials in Scotland had named snowplows for years and decided a similar effort in Minnesota could actually draw attention to their winter work. Actually, I think it's a great idea. So the response the first year was kind of overwhelming, with about 24,000 submissions and 122,000 votes cast. Wow. Luis is calling in. Let's mess with him. And, so with that, you get the 8,000 submissions, in the latest contest to kind of decide what the name of the snowplow is going to be. So besides Plowy McPlowface, which I think's weak, and Darth Bladder, winners of the year include Blizzard of Oz, Scoop Dog, and Han Snowlo. Scoop Dog, I think, probably wins that one, Luis. What do you think? Oh. Hold on, Luis. Can you hear me now? Huh. We're having a little bit of an issue getting Luis on the phone here today for some reason. Now I can hear you. How are we doing?
We're good. How are you, CJ? Good morning.
I had to wait for it to transfer over. 10-10, huh?
Okay, yeah. I will explain. Last night I was at CJ. We were talking the pre-show, whatever. And then he told me there's a link. No, he gave me, right? He thought to confirm and whatever, right? Just to make sure this is official. Then I put it in. He confirms. He sends me 3 emails, by the way. 3 emails. You're confirmed. And then I'm just walking around the apartment doing stuff, and oopsies. 10-14.
Oh, good. Hey, what's going on with the Cardinals? We're a couple of weeks away from pitchers and catchers reporting. It's going to be a make or break year for a man, and the way that it seems is that nobody's really in the safe zone right now as the season starts. And, obviously the eyes are going to be on him in April to see if this is going to be a repeat of last year, because April, you and I both knew that we were in trouble.
Oh yeah. And then May, I think the public at large, in May, the public at large said, "Ooh, this is not going to be good either."
Yeah, and so with that, I mean, a couple of weeks away from pitchers and catchers reporting, what's their mindset now? How does this kind of look for them in these next few weeks? Is it just kind of let's get everybody?
Well, again, yeah, they will now. It's people just going to Jupiter. I think the Cardinals probably around February, that first week of February or next week, will do their big move with all the equipment and everything that they need.
Yeah.
From Busch Stadium to the complex right there, and then the 14th, they pitchers and catchers report for the Cardinals, right? And it's been a week since this happened. I need to talk about this.
Which thing? Are we talking about the retirement home that we're building at Busch Stadium?
Yes.
Okay.
And not only the retirement home, because I was fine with the retirement home that they were building, because at least there were players that will bring presence, right?
Right.
Leadership aspects, right?
Right.
And then Matt Carpenter signs for the Cardinals last week.
Well, and can I just tell you my thoughts, and maybe that way I can kind of alleviate some of this, because I'm one of the people that are saying, what the hell are we doing? What are we doing?
Go ahead.
You're wasting a roster spot for a guy that was known to be not a very good teammate, that was kind of all about himself and had to go ahead and make salsa. And the bottom line is, it's not his fault. If someone offers you $1 million when you know that your career's over, you're going to take it. And it's not his fault. But the fact that the Cardinals, after their previous tenure with this guy, who only when he was hot and he was in his prime, had 2 weeks of success, 3 weeks of success to carry him through a season, and then he gets old. And I'm not saying he's not going to be a valuable asset. What I'm saying is he's not the leader that you're supposed to be bringing in as a veteran for $1 million a year. That's not a presence. That's a guy telling you how to get yourself over and not your team.
Wow.
Sorry.
No, you're good. You're good. My gripe is this one, and I'll add to it this too. Okay, you want a bat, you want a bench bat, you want a player. There's still players available. Again,
yeah.
Like, here's the thing. And now, obviously, Carpenter, you said it right. He is being paid the league minimum of about $700,000 and change, right? I think more than 750. Yeah. So
It's not about the money. It's about
not about the money. No, it's not about the money too. And it's like, yes, it's like the Cardinals are known for players to return for one more less, and then that's great. But you want to win. There's players like Kike Hernandez still in the market that can be that utility player, that bench guy. Again, you have to pay him more than like minimum, but I see Kike Hernandez. The first time I saw Kike Hernandez, I don't know if you had this thought, CJ. Cardinal.
You know, I actually did. And that's not me agreeing with you.
He acts and he looks like a future Cardinals player. He is a good teammate. He is a good MLB player. And also, if the Cardinals ever get him, he's going to be a fan favorite.
Well, and that's the thing, you know, and last year was different. Obviously, the fans wanted them to get Pujols back. It was talked about 2 years before he was, you know, this was the last year. How great would it be for a reunion? And we saw the articles, is a reunion going to happen ever? You know, but it happens because the fans want it. I don't think they want this.
Yeah, it's interesting. Again, and you know what? And I'm not going to talk about myself. I'm going to talk about people who are fans. Like, I got a good friend, very good friend of mine in Puerto Rico, big Cardinals fan. And he texted me, Carp, seriously, what are we doing?
Well, and
he hit the Mendoza line last year.
Well, and that's the thing. It's not, and you can, and I don't look at all the Facebook comments in the world on the Cardinals post, but just the reaction. It is not the reaction they were hoping for. And it's not saying, you know, Carpenter shouldn't be allowed near the team. I'm not saying that. I'm saying that, you know, why are we giving away a 40-man spot to this guy that couldn't bat his weight? Why? And he wasn't I would be more apt to say this is a great move, Luis, if he was an actual, you know, role model. And it's not because of I mean, it was kind of reported on in those little Viva Liberto, what is that called? That St. Louis Cardinals website.
Viva El Verdos.
Yeah, there was reports on that years ago about just the nightmare he was becoming because of his ego. So why now do we go, it's okay to act a fool, nobody wanted you, so now we'll bring you back? That's kind of my thought. It's not a good message to the young guys that are trying to earn the roster spot that this guy who couldn't bat my weight, let alone his, is coming back to the team and taking one of their positions away.
And here's the thing, and maybe in the past 3 years, 4 years after he left, maybe he matured. Maybe he's a different person. But we're just basing this on the past, right?
That's true.
And there might be some interesting behind the scenes stuff with him. But again, it's not his fault either. If the Cardinals tell you, hey, we want you back, and you think, oh, maybe it's a special advice. Oh, as a player, sure.
Right.
Again, this is more an indictment in the people that make decisions.
Well, and that's a great point, and that's what I was saying earlier. I mean, it's not, you can't blame the guy for taking the money. I mean, you just can't. But you can at least raise the question mark to your admin or your front office and going, hey, what the heck are we doing here? Well, you know, that's just me anyway. We'll see what happens. Have you heard any rumblings or anything from the clubhouse about the move? Have you talked to any guys since then?
Not from the clubhouse, but I talked to my people. Yeah, it's like really, like, but that's only it's like okay. But it's again. I know this for a fact. Paul Goldschmidt is tied with Matt Carpenter. Nolan Arenado likes him too. Whatever, right? That's facts, and they were pushing for this to happen. Apparently, and this is facts too. You get my good friend Jim Hayes from Valley Sports did a podcast with him. I think yesterday or 2 days ago, and Matt Carpenter said, like, yeah, after I got released from the Braves, to the point that the Braves called him after they traded him. It's like, hey, This is weird because it's not a welcome to Braves. We're gonna try to flip you. Maybe they're gonna flip him.
Oh wow!
So the Braves said we cannot flip you because nobody wants you. And here's we owe you a big fat check. And then after that happened, but a day or two later, the Cardinals called. So the conversations were starting that early with Carpenter to the Cardinals.
That's interesting. And we'll just see
that's very interesting.
We'll just see what happens. But I hope he focuses on his, this season ahead and not this stuff that he was doing, because you could see it coming. I mean, you could see the fall from grace coming. It was like one of those sports movies where the guy gets in his own head and it's like, well, I'm salsa man. Get out of here. Go away. Just stop.
Yeah, and he's been working with Matt Holliday a lot lately. So again, maybe we can see a better, more efficient swing for his age. No, and that can be a good help.
That's
too.
Very, very.
But I don't envision Carpenter playing that much.
No.
That would be something if he plays more than we expect.
Now that would be interesting. Hey,
that will be interesting. Yes,
we didn't talk about this. St. Louis City, they're playing.
They are playing.
This is wild. I'm really starting to. I just don't understand this. So they're playing already. Wouldn't their season in December?
No, their season ended. Their season, not the MLS.
Right.
Their season ended in October.
Oh, was it? Maybe, man, I thought it was November, December. Never mind then. But
here's the thing: the champion played in the subset champion too. The runner-up played that first week of December.
Wow. Well,
for the MLS Cup.
Coming up, these club friendlies are going to be popping up as kind of their, I call it spring training. They're taking on Columbus today, Nashville today, and then taking on Galaxy from LA on Saturday. What's the kind of initial thought over there in St. Louis City? I mean, they had a great first year, not the ending they wanted, but they got an ending they never expected. Regardless, it just didn't end the way they wanted it to. Are they feeling pretty positive about the team they have? Are they going to look to change up the way they play? I know that they like this kind of. They were really good at that, kind of in your face, high press situations. But when they started to get coy and get cheeky with it. It kind of fell apart on him pretty quickly. So is that something they're looking at?
Yes, and they're down right now. I think they're down in Florida for one more day here today, and then we're going to fly up here for next week. But yeah, I think they got better in depth. I think in the situation that happened when they got cheeky, and they really got cheeky.
They did.
Is because they didn't have depth, and I think now they have depth in those positions that they can still do the fast pace. And it will still be fast paced because that's how Bradley Carnell is, right?
Right.
The better, but now he has a better base, and I think they have addressed every need that they needed to have to get. Also, this week it was official that Nicolas Gioacchini is going to go now play in the Italian 2 league. Mm-hmm. So you lose Nicolas Gioacchini, and the way the soccer does it, it's weird because it's you're in camp, whatever, if he's going good, and then 2 weeks before the first, or 1 week before your first game, exhibition game, while your players that you're counting on, oh yeah, bye. I'm going to Italy to play.
Yeah, right. Well, I saw this report, and I'll give them the credit from the St. Louis Business Journal. They actually have the estimated franchise value of St. Louis City, which I find actually kind of because I just don't see soccer as kind of in the same realm as some of these major, and I say major American sports like a baseball. But I mean, to have a franchise value after year one at $625 million, that's a little bit below the MLS average, but to have that after year one is a pretty impressive milestone, I think.
And that tells you how important is to be good in the MLS too. Like, look
That's
at that.
true.
Like, they got the Western Conference. They got all the success. Yes, the playoffs were the playoffs, but at the end of the day, it's not a bad start. Again, it's not. It's the in lieu of winning a championship that first year, that was a dream start, right?
Right.
And I think what Bradley Carnell is trying to do, and I think it's going to be interesting if he pulls this off. It's going to be one of his best magic tricks here. Is that how you can build upon last season?
Right.
Like what? Okay. Because last season was supposed, maybe they go 500, sneak in, and get bounced. Wait a minute. They still got bounced, but they were the Western Conference champions.
Right.
So, for a franchise and a coach and just a team organization, it's how to tempt expectations. Because again, I don't know what to expect. Because should we expect the same thing? I think that will be silly. Should we expect the team to be good? I think so. I think playoffs are still on the line. I think you got a lot of players, again, that Berkey was his first experience doing the American season, right?
Right.
Like Berkey was playoffs? Not to sound like the former Colts coach, playoffs. But it was like I played in the Bundesliga in 85,000
right
capacity stadium, and we're like, oh, what is the atmosphere for a what's the city? Hold on, what
25 maybe
24, 25 if you break the fire code, I think. Yeah. But it happens. It's like, but you have players now how to experience a level of experience in the MLS, right?
Right.
How to, again, in soccer more than ever, because yes, you're fit and whatever, but you're also tired.
That's true. Hey,
because you're playing a lot of games. Go ahead, CA.
Well, and too, you're just no one realizes how much you're actually running in terms of miles during a soccer game. It's staggering. I wanted to ask you about the Blues because I got to keep moving a little bit today. I see that they're won their last 3, but before we get to the Blues, what the hell happened to the Oilers? Like, this is incredible. They're on a 15-game winning streak. I mean, this is just nuts. When did the Oilers have a good team?
Here's the thing. When they fired their head coach, this 15-game winning streak happened. That's happened with the interim head coach.
Oh, no. What? Oh, salt in the wounds for that head coach.
Yes, again. I don't remember his name, but it's like, okay, the Bannister bump lasted how many games? Okay, the Oilers guy is like still going. It's still going.
I just imagine the gut punch if you're the guy that gets fired and you're thinking, ain't no way this team's going to win 2 games, and then you see them go on a 15-game winning streak.
Okay, maybe they win 3 or 4.
Right.
15.
It's just incredible. I mean, that is absolutely remarkable.
I was the problem.
Hey, Blues are actually doing pretty darn good considering where the year was at. I think that they should be holding their head kind of higher at this point. Won their last 3, goal differential still in the negatives, but it's looking positive. And you know, you're in the locker room with these guys. Does it seem like the weight of the world's starting to fall off their shoulders a little bit because they're playing like they aren't as stressed?
No, and that's true. And here's the thing too. It's a night and day from last year too. At this point, last year they were getting ready to start trading people away.
Oh yeah, is this when didn't Tarasenko go around this time last year?
Yeah, it was either after or before the All-Star game.
Yeah, I couldn't remember.
Yeah, it was around this time, and then Tarasenko. Then the Blues won 2 games in a row. Then O'Reilly, and I think then Barbashev after that. That was the order. But yeah, it's like night and day now. They're again. 1 point away from the second wild card, 3 points away from the first wild card. That it's the LA Kings. The LA Kings play this Sunday at Enterprise before the Blues start their All-Star break. So it's exciting. And here's the thing, too, CJ. They're winning against top teams.
Yeah, that's a good point, and that really is a great point. Is they're not beaten up on, I mean, the Blackhawks. I mean, they're competing and winning against good teams. I mean, it's like what happened?
Oh yeah, no, it's faster. It's another again. Not that Berube wasn't doing his job.
No.
It's like again, and this is a normal situation, not like what is happening with the Oilers, right? But sometimes it's just a change of a voice, the change of how you speak to the players. Again, like we talked in the beginning of the season, when there's only so many defensive schemes that you can use in hockey, and that's about 4, 5, something like that. Same for the offense, too. 4, 5, maybe 6, right?
Right.
But it's how the players react to your message, and probably Berube's message became a little bit stale.
Well, and that's
and when the organization fires a coach, it again, like we talked the day after, it's like if the organization fires a coach, it's because you can't fire the players.
That's true. That's very true. Well, and that's the thing. So, I mean, what do you think? I mean, is this something in your mind at this state in the game? I mean, they, in all theory, could snag a playoff spot, and who knows what happens after that?
Yeah, again, because look at who they're winning. Again, that's why it's important to see who they're winning. It's like who they're going to get paired up. They're going to get paired up with a 1 seed, a 2 seed. They're not going to snag somebody from the division. The division's over, right? The division's set. But if they can, they might be. I'm not saying again. If they can sneak in, it might be a interesting playoff run or a playoff round, because maybe they go 7 and lose in that first round. But you know what? Expectations this year were high, and then low, and then medium.
Hey, let me ask you real quick, and it's all a great point, Luis. We have about a minute left, but I just looked at this. What happened to the San Jose Sharks? Oh my God! I mean, that is just that's sad.
It's again. Remember, the San Jose Sharks were the team that the Blues defeated in the Western Conference Final.
I mean, this was a talented team.
Yeah, and then it just began just a little, and then boom.
Oh my God! I mean, this is just an eyesore. 13-31. Oh man, and they're getting paid a lot of money to do it. That's insane. Luis, thank you so much for your time, sir. We'll talk again soon.
Yeah, and next time I will promise the listenership and CJ I will be on time.
Well, it's all good. I found a little story to kind of rattle through until the phone rang. I filled them in. Hey, real quick, I got to take care of a little bit of business. 3rd Street Realty, 3rdstrealty.com. That's the website. You know, Luis, we have a real estate segment on the show once a month, and it's a little bit different. We talk about some properties for sale, but we also talk about how, first-time home buyers, how people that maybe have some, tighter budgets can still afford the home, the American dream, without paying a landlord and never owning your own property. At 3rd ST Realty, it's so important for you to know that Lisa Webb has been in your shoes. For over a decade, this woman-owned but family-operated company has helped a variety of people, whether they're buying for the first time, selling for the 5,000th, or if it's getting real and we're foreclosing on a house. They have great resources to help you no matter what it is. And Luis, I don't know how you feel about it. I like when a company doesn't treat you like a number. They call you by your first name and they treat you like family, especially for this type of purchase. Right?
Oh, yeah.
Exactly. So with that being said, if you want to be treated like a person, if you want to be having that wonderful customer experience and that real, life journey experience that you can actually be excited about, you give Lisa Webb a call, or you just go to 3rdstrealty.com. That's 3rdstrealty.com. RiverBender.com.
Since 1993, Sparks Junk Removal is always adapting to the needs of our clients. That is why we now offer weekly trash pickup for selected areas. Plus, we offer driveway-safe rubber-tired dumpster rental. Give us a call today at 618-781-1407 or visit us at sparksjunkremoval.net.
Macias Insurance Agency, providing quality products with extremely competitive prices. As an independent provider, we source multiple companies to offer the best rates possible, covering auto, home, business, and life insurance. Our goal is to provide quality service that meets and exceeds customer expectations. You can rest easy knowing the Macias team is working round the clock to ensure that both you and the most important parts of your life are covered. Our qualified professionals make the insurance process easy so you can live carefree and focus on what matters most. Visit MaciasInsuranceAgency.com today to find out what our team can do for you.
Not sure if you've noticed, but those advertised prices from the other dealers are just a bunch of blah, blah, blah. At Roberts Motors, the advertised price is the price you pay. And that, my friend, is great news for you. Don't fall for their so-called incentives that will leave you banging your head against the wall. Go with Roberts Motors. Prices you can trust and people you will like. That's the Roberts Motors way. And trust me, it's the way to go.
Has free checking become a thing of the past? Not if Liberty has anything to say about it. With 3 free personal checking options and even a free business checking account, free is alive and well at Liberty Bank, the local bank that gives you free checking choices and more cashing in your pocket. Bank locally, bank Liberty. For more information, visit www.bankliberty.com.
Riverbender Radio has built 3 great new stations just for you in the Riverbend. The Eagle, the Riverbend's classic rock station. The Bridge, hit music for the Riverbend. And The River, today's country, and all your favorites. Check them out today at RiverBender.com.
Welcome back to our daily show.
I feel like Jesse James, still trying to make a name, knowing nothing's gonna change what I am. I was a young troubadour when I wrote in on a song, and I'll be an old troubadour.
God, I love George Strait. 1041. This darn headphone cord. I'm telling you what. Hold on here. Hang loose. This headphone cord's like 40 feet long, and I'm like 2 feet away from the board. So it's a weird thing, you know. Anyway, let's talk about the things that happened on this date in history, and we'll start with music in 1956. Buddy Holly recorded what would become his first release. Such an underrated entertainer and musician. Love Me and Blue Days, Black Nights. Both tracks were later featured on That'll Be the Day, the third album from Holly. After Decca, Holly's first major record label, packaged these 1956 tunes after he had some success with the recordings from the Brunswick and Chorale labels. On this date in 1961, Elvis, at the request of his manager, recorded Are You Lonesome Tonight, the singer's 6th UK single, and it went number 1 pretty quickly. The song was written by Roy Turk and Lou Handman in 1926, and, well, it became a hit in 1950 when the Blue Baron Orchestra version reached the top 20 on the billboards. The Colonel, Tom Parker, asked Elvis to record it for his wife, Marie, her favorite song. Also, on this date in music history, the Beatles played 2 gigs. The first was at the El Rio Club Dance Hall in Cheshire, England, supported by Wayne Fontana and the Jets. The Beatles drove 20 miles to their next gig at King's Hall, Stoke-on-Trent, and Staffordshire. Well, man, that's kind of a tough one. You know, isn't it wild to think about that the Beatles were just riding up and down the road? It's just, whenever you're in this situation and not looking at it during the time it's happening, it's just really kind of impressive. During the Rolling Stones tour of Australia in 1965, guitarist Keith Richards had his shirt torn off after 50 fans invaded the stage during their gig at the Town Hall in Brisbane. Ringo Starr in 1974 went to the number 1 spot on the U.S. singles chart. I'm Casey Kasem. With his version of Johnny Burnett 1960 hit You're 16 at number 3 in the United Kingdom. Peter Green, former Fleetwood Mac guitarist Peter Green in 1977, was committed to a mental hospital following an incident when he threatened his accountant Clifford Adams with an air rifle when he was trying to deliver a 30,000 pound or a $51,000 royalty check to him. In 1980, Prince made his television debut on American Bandstand. Man, that was an important show. When interviewed after his first performance, the singer froze and struggled to reply to the questions he was being asked. In 1986, Alan Collins, guitarist from Lynyrd Skynyrd, crashed his car, paralyzing him from the waist down, and it also killed his girlfriend, Deborah Jean Watts. Collins had just survived the plane crash just under 11 years ago that killed 2 other band members. In 1991, Queen had their second UK #1 with Innuendo at 6 minutes and 30 seconds. It exceeds their epic Bohemian Rhapsody by 35 seconds and became the 3rd longest song in UK to reach the #1 spot. Now, this is behind Hey Jude and Simple Minds. Subsequently, the 9 minutes and 38 seconds All Around the World by Oasis took over the top slot and demoted Innuendo to 4th place. For Innuendo's guitar solo, Brian May was joined by Yes guitarist Steve Howe. In 2003, Billy Joel was airlifted to a hospital after his car smashed into a tree. The singer lost control of his Mercedes S500 and skid about 100 yards before crashing. The accident happened in the Hamptons in New York. Also, on this date in music history, well, let's do one more for you. The Rolling Stones topped the U.S. Music Ritualist for the 2nd year running after making $150 million in 2006. Now get this, we all went to Schnucks during 2006, and we remember seeing those tabloids and these people's profiles all over them. Tim McGraw and Faith Hill, remember, they were getting a divorce. Second in the poll with a combined fortune of $132 million. An American band, Rascal Flatts, appeared third. Cars, Life is a Highway. It was because of Cars in 2007. Having earned? I don't know, like that. Having earned $110 million in the past year. On this date in history, listen to this, some fascinating stuff. So, on January 26, 1788, Captain Arthur Phillips guides a fleet of 11 British ships carrying convicts, I do get paid to do a speaking job, to the colony of New South Wales, effectively founding Australia. After overcoming a period of hardship, the fledgling colony began to celebrate the anniversary of this date with great fanfare. Australia, once known as New South Wales, was originally planned as a penal colony. In October 1786, the British government appointed Arthur Phillip, captain of the HMS Sirius, and commissioned him to establish an agricultural work camp there for British convicts. With little idea of what he could expect from the mysterious and distant land, Philip had a hard time assembling the fleet that was about to make the journey. His requests for more experienced farmers to assist the penal colonies were repeatedly denied, and he was both poorly funded and outfitted. Nonetheless, accompanied by a small contingent of Marines and other officers, Philip led his 1,000-strong party, of whom more than 700 were convicts, around Africa to the eastern side of Australia. In all, the voyage lasted 8 months, claiming the deaths of some 30 men. In the first years of the settlement, it was very disastrous. Cursed with poor soil and an unfamiliar climate and workers who were ignorant of farming, Philip had a great difficulty just keeping the men alive. The colony was on the verge of outright starvation for several years, and the Marines sent to keep order were not up to the task. Philip, who proved to be a tough but fair-minded leader, persevered by appointing convicts to positions of responsibility and oversight. Floggings and hangings were commonplace, but as Philip said before leaving England, in a new country, there will be no slavery and henceforth no slaves. Though Philip returned to England in 1792, the colony became prosperous by the turn of the 19th century. Feeling a new sense of patriotism, the man began to rally around January 26th as their founding day. Historian Manny Clark noted that in 1808, the men observed the anniversary of the foundation of the colony with drinking and merriment. Finally, in 1818, January the 26th became the official holiday marking the 30th anniversary of the British settlement in Australia, and as Australia became a sovereign nation, it became the national holiday known as Australia Day. Today, Australia Day serves as both a celebration for the founding of the white British settlement and a day of mourning of the Aborigines who were slowly disposed of their land as the colonization spread across the continent. Also on this date, in 1979, Dukes of Hazzard, a television comedy about two good old boy cousins in the rural South in their souped-up 1969 Dodge Charger known as the General Lee. That debuted on CBS. That was funny, thank you. On this date, don't do this to me. On this date in 1980, at the request of President Jimmy Carter, the U.S. Olympic Committee votes to ask the International Olympic Committee to cancel or move the upcoming Moscow Olympics. Also, on this date in history, in 1838, time to go make some moonshine. The first prohibition law in history of the United States is passed in Tennessee, making it a misdemeanor to sell alcoholic beverages in taverns or stores. On this date also, in 1500, listen to this. During the Spanish Civil War, I read the wrong line. Spanish explorer Vicente Yanez Pinzon, who had commanded the Nina during Christopher Columbus's first expedition to the New World, listen to this, reaches the northeastern coast of Brazil during a voyage under his command, making him the explorer that discovered Brazil. That happened on this date in 1500. And I just think it's really fascinating. I didn't know he was a part of Christopher Columbus's voyage. One final one. Actually, three more, because this is really interesting. Sam Goldwyn buys the rights to The Wizard of Oz. That happened on this date in 1934. One of America's best-loved movie projects gets underway in 1934 when the producer buys the film rights to the children's novel The Wonderful Wizard of Oz by I got to click on it because I'm not going to be able to see it. They won't give me the name, but we know who wrote the book. On this date in 2006, during a live broadcast of her daytime TV talk show, Oprah Winfrey confronted author James Frey about fabrications in A Million Little Pieces, his memoir about addiction and recovery. And so many of us do remember that because that interview was viral before, viral was a thing. Two more for you. The Twist ends its record-setting run on January 26th, 1962 by Chubby Checker, finally ends its record-setting run at number one. Now, here's why. It won't give me any more information. It ended its run because, it was knocked off of that record-setting quickest number one hit, and that happened on this date in 1962. Also on this date in history, in 2005, I was reading the line below. On this date, President George Bush appointed Condoleezza Rice to the post of Secretary of State, making her the highest-ranking African-American woman ever to serve in a presidential cabinet. Also in 1961, just about a week after his inauguration, President John F. Kennedy appointed Janet Travell, 59, as his personal physician, making her the first woman in history to ever hold the post. That's a look at what happened on this date in history. It's 10:53, and we'll take a quick break. We'll come back with the All-Star Award, and we'll wrap up the week that was right after this on RiverBender.com.
I set the thermostat so my house would be warm when I got home from work, but the kitchen is still cool.
At Barrett Heating and Cooling, we stand behind every Linux system we sell.
My dealer said he'd take care of everything.
At Barrett Heating and Cooling, we understand everyone wants prompt, professional service.
Turns out it wasn't my furnace after all, just a little something blocking the vent.
Pretty smart dog if you ask me. For service you can count on, call Barrett Heating and Cooling.
Lennox. Innovation never felt so good.
You won't find a better health club than Nautilus Fitness Center. More cardio, more free weights and equipment, more classes, a swimming pool, and more. If you're serious about your health and want to make a change, then stop thinking about it and visit Nautilus Fitness Center on Industrial Drive in Alton. Don't fall for the hype you get from the other health clubs. Nautilus is the Riverbend's premier health club. Has been for years and will be for years to come. Get to Nautilus Fitness Center and get started on a healthier new you.
Life's better when you're under our roof. That's because our expert agents will make you feel totally protected with the right auto and home coverage at the right price. Also, you can enjoy the dreams you've worked so hard to achieve. American Family Insurance.
For the biggest selection of pre-owned cars, trucks, and SUVs in the Riverbend, visit AltonToyota.com or stop by their location on the Homer Adams Parkway in Alton. Winner of the prestigious President's Award, Munganast Burkhardt Alton Toyota knows how to treat their customers, and they will help you find the vehicle that is perfect for you. For years, Munganast Toyota has been a fixture in the Riverbend, and now Munganast Burkhardt carries the tradition. New name, but the same great service you've come to expect.
You're listening to Our Daily Show with CJ Nasello on RiverBender.com.
Here we go. I know we talked about this story. So, officials at a British zoo, listen to this, said that group of infamously foul-mouthed parrots that were isolated from the rest of the flock are being moved in with the rest of the chatty birds in hopes they can clean up their language. They've had enough. The Lincolnshire Wildlife Park famously received 5 African gray parrots from different homeowners in 2020, and the new arrivals spent their time in quarantine teaching each other a variety of profanities. That's how you learn. That's how you get better. That's how you grow. Together. The birds were removed from the rest of the zoo's flock to keep them from teaching their bad habits to the rest of their birds. Mommy, what did that bird just say? Officials said the recent arrival of 3 more potty-mouthed parrots led them to make the decision to pull all 8 of those cussing birds in with the rest of the parrots. Oh, talk about a problem to have. We put 8 really offensive swearing parrots in with 92 non-swearing ones. Steve Nichols, the chief executive of the park, actually told CNN. Really offensive swearing parrots. Okay, when we came to move them, the language that I'm sorry. This is just funny. Here's this quote. When we came to move them, the language that came out of their carrying boxes was phenomenal. It was really bad, but not normal swear words. These were proper expletives. Nichols said that keepers are hoping the swearing parrots will learn new sounds from the rest of the flock instead of the other way around. We could end up with 100 swearing parrots on our hands. Only time will tell, he told the BBC. The zoo posted warning signs about the potential for foul language, but Nichols said the swearing parrots have actually proven to be popular. I'd say so. Why are you trying to stop them? That's a cash register. Oh my goodness, I only have time for one more. A plane was delayed at New Zealand's Wellington International Airport due to a well-dressed hazard on the runway. A penguin. The airport said on social media the unusual little visitor wandered onto the tarmac, leading airport staff to scramble to get this flightless bird to safety. The penguin was put on a weight gain diet by veterinarians and said they'll care for him until its feathers become waterproof. There you go. That's the All-Star Award. Don't get any cussing parrots because they'll rub off on the others. I'm out of time. We have a really busy show next week. Stay tuned to RiverBender.com/video for that live schedule. See me at Alton Little Theater all weekend long. Most importantly, have fun, be safe, and try your best to stay out of jail.